Here's the mindful man reading more chapters of Ghost School. The headmaster addressed them all, and he asked anyone if they could offer any information if they could. He wiped the tears from his eyes. Crocodile tears, thought Lucy as she watched his performance. He was a great actor and looked so believable it was scary. Tom and James didn't look happy, as this was the day they had planned to unmask him, and now everything was in ruins. If anyone has any information, don't hesitate to contact me, the head said professionally. Anne wanted to gag because he was such a phony, but only they could see it. He was quickly surrounded by concerned staff and pupils. He was probably eyeing up his next victim, thought Lucy. Tom and James were really annoyed and decided to go look for evidence. They remembered seeing the boy being dragged into the well and wondered if the secretary could be in there too. They told the girls they were going on a simple walk as they didn't want to alarm them. They took a shortcut through the woods and avoided most of the pond as they didn't want to muddy their pumps. They were so angry and fired up that they weren't afraid to go near the cottage. Well, said James, she's just a ghost and she can't really harm us. True, Tom concurred, but she can harm our nervous system. The cottage looked just the same, but less menacing in the daylight. They walked over to the well and looked down, and all they could see was old bricks leading to total darkness. They heard a plop as something dropped into the water, but they soon realized that it must have been a rat. Tom was pleased it was so far down, as the sight of one made him sick. As they were walking back feeling somewhat disappointed, James saw something sticking out of the bushes. It was a black high-heeled shoe, just the type the secretary would have wore, as she was a very glamorous lady. He picked it up and showed it to Tom. He placed it in his holdall, and they began to walk back as it was getting dusky, and they didn't want to bump into anyone or anything in the dark. He had found a piece of evidence, and that was enough. We can show this to the girls, he said excitedly. Great, said Tom, let's get out of here before it gets too dark. They marched back into the woods, both of them feeling quite scared, but trying not to show it. A fox rushed past them and made them jump. It seemed to be smiling, and as it turned to look at them before shooting off. Once again they found themselves marching around the pond. The mud was slowing them down, and the mist was covering their eyes like a veil. There was little sound apart from the croaking of the frogs and the squelching of their boots. Finally they got to the end, and they could see the school in the distance. It shone in the moonlight as if it was beckoning them back. They were both glad they were shielded from the headmaster's study by a high wall, as the last thing they wanted to see was him peering at them through the window. When they got to their rooms they woke the girls and showed them the evidence. They were amazed and surprised. We have to tell someone, said Lucy. It's obviously him. He can't keep getting away with it, she exclaimed. I'm sure you're right, said Anne excitedly. But we need more proof. We need to tell someone what we've found. But who? Lamented Anne. They decided to sleep on it as it was very light and they were all tired. The next day they sat in the canteen drinking coffee and pondering on whom they could safely tell. We'll have to tell a teacher, Lucy said. Yeah, but which one? Said Anne. Can we trust anyone? Implored Lucy. They may all be in on it. How can we trust anyone? I know it's hard, said James, but we've got to do something. That's right, said Tom, before something bad happens to someone else. Hope you enjoyed this chapter. Please sub me.